Yo, what's up? It's Brother Brandon, playing some guitar. Back with another guitar lesson. Check it out. I thought we talked about how to play G everywhere. That's a good one. I see a lot of people, just doing this. What about this? 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 Right? Something like that. Anyways, so one thing that helped me is really figuring out where all the G's are, right? Like, you got G on every string, and that's kind of the worst part about guitar, but also the best part. That's pretty much all of them, right? You got G, 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 right? So to be able to find all the G's on the guitar is awesome. And then, you can expand that now that we know what the root notes are. We could play the triad. 1, 3, 5, G, B, D, right? That's pretty cool. And I like to think about, music or triads or seventh chords and groupings of 3, right? And then sevenths being groupings of 4. That can be pretty handy. Woo! That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Love that. Love that. Okay, so another thing that we can do is once you learn all these G chords, right? We can start to invert them, right? I like this one. I haven't played this one in a while. That's a good one. Woo! So that's pretty cool. Those are chord inversions. Drop 2, drop 3, drop 2 and 3, drop 2 and 4, whatever. That stuff's pretty handy. If you don't know what that is, there's a million videos out there of the drop 2 and 3 chords. It's a good place to start, and then if you can invert all of them, a lot of chords. And this is, really just taking G, F sharp, B, and D, and just moving it to the next note, right? Like G goes to B, and F sharp goes to G, right? And B goes to D, and D goes to F sharp. And you just can do the same thing. Just keep going up forever, dude. I hate this one, but if I ever do this one, I normally play it probably down here and here. So I'll add the A in the middle. A little more palatable to me. This sound, not my favorite, but it's good to know, right? I mean, you might find it useful. Yeah, that stuff's really, really freaking handy. And then if you don't know, like, the caged system, where, you start getting all your triads, right? And that's mad handy. Or, like, if you don't know just, like, how to play the same chord and inversions on 3 strings, you should figure that out. G, B, D, right? 5, 4, and 3. And you go B, D, and G. And you get this G chord, right? D, G, and B, right? Yeah, and you do it on these 3. How about on these 3? Right? Yeah, how about on these? pretty cool. If you don't know that kind of stuff, check that stuff out, because it's like, man, that's so important. It's so freaking important. Something like that, right? That just really unlocks so much stuff. You can start doing like more chord progressions. You can start playing all over the neck real quick that way. And yeah, I think that sounds really good, especially when you're playing with like another guitar player homie, or like even a bass player. You know, you can do all these crazy things, because like, you know, the bass player or whoever the other guitar player is, you know, say he's here and you're up here. You know, just, man, you can play everywhere. As long as you know, like, oh, here's G, oh, here's G, oh, here's G, here's another G. You know what I mean? It's like you never really get lost. Another thing I could say, I probably should have said this earlier in the video, and I always tell people to do this. They're like, man, how do you learn all the notes? How do you know all the chords? Well, it's not really a question anymore, you know what I mean? Like, I know that this is E, and this is F sharp, and this is G, and this is A, and B, and D, and E, and F sharp, and G, and F sharp, and D, and, you know, I'm just saying the notes I'm playing. It's just like, you gotta know every single note, you know? Because I don't really think about that stuff whenever I play very often. I mean, whenever I'm teaching these little lessons and, you know, talking about music theory and stuff like that, or, you know, I'm breaking it down, like, then I have to kind of stop and be like, oh, okay, well, let's figure out what notes I'm playing. Because I honestly hate thinking about that stuff. Like, what notes, what are the chords, what's the time signature, what's the BPM, what's the melody. Like, I already want to have all that stuff so locked before I even try to even think about that stuff, because for me, when I start thinking about stuff, it messes me up. So that can be a different topic for a different day. So I try to think about nothing personally. So I try to have that stuff pretty locked. So like, if I can already know all of the freaking possible places I could play, you know, it's like there's no question, and I can just kind of flow. And that's how I like to be personally. Maybe some people like to work some stuff out a little bit, but I think, you know, that's what practice is for. That's what your lessons are for. That's what, you know, hanging out, playing gigs is for. I wouldn't really be, you know, working stuff out totally on the gig, but you can be exploring ideas that you're working on for sure. You know, I think I'm going to end the video here, because I was going to say, you don't want to be working on too many ideas at once. You know, working on 5 things a week is a lot of things for me personally. I think everyone probably has like a different workload that they can handle. You know, if that's like, man, I'm trying to book some gigs, I'm trying to work on, you know, how to play G everywhere, and then, oh man, I gotta record this record, and anything really beyond that, it's like, that's a lot of shit. So, you know, take it slow, and like be like conscious of yourself, and it's not a rush, it's not a race. But yeah, a little bit of guitar every day keeps the doctor away. Big love. Hit me up for some lessons. Like and subscribe.